I made a mini quilt based on the fabrics that I've been using for one of my recent quilts. And this is because I wanted to be able to practice free motion quilting. I've only actually tried it once on my other machine, a Jones electric machine. I thought I'd make the quilt on my treadle machine, and this is just for practice purposes. Right, so there we are, a little bit quick and dirty patchworking. Even without me wanting to, it's turned into a little bit of a sort of round, spooky type shape, a bit like the original quilt. But at least I've got some different fabrics there to work on. I just need a scrap of batting now to put this on so that I can do my sample. Here's the sample quilting sandwich that I've made. So for my purposes, I need to see what the different free motion quilting is going to look like on these fabrics that are in my quilt. I've managed to find a scrap of the same batting that I'm going to be using in the quilt, and I've also cut a square from the backing fabric that I'm going to be using for the quilt. So partly this is for me to see what the different threads look like on the quilting fabrics, but also for me to practice the free motion quilting, because I've only had one attempt at it, which you might have watched, but the stitches went really small on the on my Jones sewing machine, because there was temporarily a problem with it, which we've now fixed, and I wasn't really trying it with the machine working properly. So I need to know that any thread I use on here is going to look good in the final quilt, and I don't really want to try and practice that on the finished quilt. And also I need to practice the technique, because I want to use the same technique for the other quilts I'm doing for Christmas presents. So here goes. So I'm just going to try some free motion quilting and see how it looks on the 4 different colours that are in the quilt. And also this is an opportunity for me to practice it. Did a bit before I realised that I hadn't actually dropped the feed dogs that are the teeth underneath the foot that move the fabric through. I'd actually forgotten to do it. So if you haven't watched the other videos showing you how to set this machine up to free motion quilt, then do watch that as well. I'll link it in the description. I'm fairly pleased with the way this looks. Obviously, I wouldn't be doing it in a pattern like that if I was actually doing it on a quilt. I'm going back over myself in order to get maximum practice value out of the piece of sample quilting that I've made. But you probably can't see it on the video, but as the machine is quilting, the way a free motion foot works is that it temporarily goes down with the needle and anchors the fabric whilst it makes one stitch and then goes back up again. So it's quite sort of bouncing onto the fabric, jumping onto the fabric, if you like, or hopping, which is fine. But what I'm finding is happening is that the whole machine is moving. And the faster I go, the more it kind of builds up speed, builds up a bounce, if you like. And I don't know whether that's just the way I'm doing it. I'm finding it very difficult to not go too fast. My sewing machine doesn't have the original pedal on it because, as with a lot of vintage machines, you need to upgrade the motor, and the motor comes with the pedal. And I'm not sure if that's got something to do with it. So whilst this is acceptable, I'm not sure that I would be able to complete a whole quilt on this machine. It's just a little bit too uncomfortable and difficult. So I switched to a metallic thread to see what that was like, because ultimately I do want to use metallic thread for quilting. Bought some of this machine embroidery thread, so it is intended to go in sewing machines, and I had a go with that. Do love that glittery thread, especially as it's a glittery fabric as well. I'll need to think about the back because that's going to be visible. That's not going to work, is it? So, we can't have that, can we? Let's try again. practice session has gone okay as far as the normal thread is concerned, but the metallic thread, although it looks nice, is not coming out well on the back, and I think that's possibly a tension problem. And also ignoring the fact that on the Jones machine, there does seem to be a bit of a momentum builds up with the action of the foot on the machine. And I'm also not really sure how to solve that. But I am getting slightly better, and I hope you have enjoyed sharing this with me. Also, don't forget to watch the other video in this series where I show the free motion, how to set up the Jones machine for free motion quilting. Thanks for watching, and I'd love to hear your comments. Have you tried this, and do you have any tips? I answer all comments, and I'd love to hear from you.